All right, aloha, Love Tribe. What's up? It's DJ Valerie. So the song of this week is so good. It is by The Who, and it's called Who Are You? And tell me, who the fuck are you? I love that, right? So Pete Townsend just crushing it. There's a good story, the backstory behind that. And, you know, for me, the story why I picked this song for this week is because we go around so much in life saying yes to all these other people and these things and these obligations, and we fucking forget who we are, right? Kind of a bummer. Like, who are you? Do you know? And how does this impact your relationships? And so for me, this is something that I think is super duper duper important. And in this intimacy series that we're working on here, it's about defining who you are in life so that when you show up in a relationship, you know, like, this is my standards. This is who I am. I'm not settling for less. I'm not going to back down. And the idea really is to know yourself, know thyself, right? And I think it's super important. And a lot of us go through life and we don't even know. Like, there's all these quizzes and tests and all these cool things that we can learn about ourselves and get a deeper understanding. And it's not about labeling yourself like, oh, I'm an Aries, so I'm stuck and I'm doomed to be this crazy fire sign forever, or I'm an Enneagram 7 or 2 or 6 or 3 or 2, whatever the numbers are. It's not about boxing yourself into something, but it's about knowing yourself so that when you have things that come up that require your decisions and that they require your attention, you can really be honest and say, like, this doesn't work for me, or this doesn't fit who I am. And even though I want to please you and I want to fit in, or I want to be accepted, this doesn't work. And a lot of us are not taught that in life. And so for me, this is episode super important because it circles back with these other episodes that we're talking about relationships and relationship dynamics, and why sometimes relationships can go sideways pretty fast. And it's because we're not staying solid in our boundaries of who we are, because we didn't take the time to figure it out and get in relationship with ourselves. I don't know about you guys, but I spent a big time of my younger years just being like a pinball wizard, right? But just going from one thing to another because I moved around a lot, and I didn't even know I was allowed to ask myself who I was. I just looked around me and I was like, okay, stoners, I can be a stoner. Preppy, I can be preppy. Cool. I can't be a jock. I suck at sports, so I couldn't be a jock. But, pretty girl, great. I can go do my hair and put makeup on and do all that stuff. I can go be grungy if I want to. I can be like heavy metal, and so all these things I looked outside of myself, and I never figured out who I was until I got a little older. And, and it's that we evolve. For me as a mother, I've definitely evolved in the who I am department. And it's a big, big deal to keep track of yourself and who you are and how you're showing up in the world. And are you putting yourself in situations and relationships that are going to empower you and highlight really the truth of who you are? Or are they going to smush you and, give you reason to maybe become the chameleon again, to people please, to fit in, all that stuff. So the experiment this week is about, declaring each day who you are in the mirror. But before you can do that, you need to figure out, who the fuck are you? I love cursing. It's one of my happy things to do. But so what I think is super cool about the experiment this week is, prior to doing it, maybe give yourself, if you already haven't done stuff like this, there's a lot of experiments that you can do and a lot of, assessments that you can do on your personality. You've got the 5 love languages, you've got an Enneagram, you've got astrology, you've got DISC assessment, you've got Myers-Briggs. So there's tons. And so I'll leave them in the show notes for you guys to get the links to. Take some time and take some of these quizzes and make an inventory of who you are, and understand yourself a little bit more. Because as we are in the world, whether we're seeking a relationship, whether we're in relationships, it's important that before we start going to look for something outside of ourselves, like, let's make sure we understand who we are in certain terms. You could do this until infinity, right? And just take quizzes and figure out who you are, but at least get a really strong baseline. If you're a total extrovert and you just want to go be with a bunch of different people, but you somehow chose a partner who's a total introvert, wants to be inside, doesn't want to talk to anybody, is afraid of the world, and you're constantly at odds because you're trying to pull her or him out to go play, like, you're destined for unhappiness, And so even though that person might be incredible in all these other ways, it's like, figuring out like where, so the point of this exercise, we're going to do another one in the next episode, in episode 28. And it's about like, who do you have to be to show up in this world to, be the most authentic version of yourself and own it. And then when you do, enter into these relationships, these intimate relationships, or even friendship, businesses, you're going to be solid and just be like, nope, that's not me, or yes, that's a total yes, or these are deal breakers, So really getting solid in who you are. So this is a fun one. And so for me, I'm so grateful I get to do this podcast, by the way. I love you guys so much. And I'm starting to do the video podcast now to see how it goes. We'll see if you guys like it or not. I kind of like it, but I'm just playing around and doing it on the computer here, and we'll see what happens. But the experiment of the week is looking at yourself in the mirror, and we're going to be doing lots of mirror exercises, and they work. I swear to God, they totally work. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you're just going to declare, who are you, to yourself, and just look at yourself and just say it like 10 times, even if you can do it once, like if you're just like, Val, you're crazy, I'm not doing that ever. Try it once and just see how it feels. And then maybe try it twice. And then if you like it, just nudge your way a little bit more, because here's the deal. One of my teachers, Yogi Bhajan, he talks about presence. And so your presence speaks louder than your words. And so if you embody presence, and if you embody like, I am the vibe goddess, or I am a fucking fuck yeah sparkle fairy, or I am a motherfucking mermaid, right? Like if you walk in a room, you walk into a meeting, you walk into a coffee, a lunch, whatever you're doing, and you are knowing that like, I am, whatever this is, this identity that you are, your presence will lead the way, and people will respond to you in kind, If you walk in like, yeah, I'm yeah, cool, whatever, it's all, you guys can do the thing. Yeah, I'm good. You will be treated as such. If you own who you are, like, I'm a writer, I'm a philanthropist, I'm an activist for the water, people will respond to you in that way too. So your presence leads you in this life. And so working on your presence by owning your identity is going to help you on this planet. And so again, with the Big Dream School podcast, we talk about the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And so the idea is, when we attach our dreams to the big dream of the planet, which to me is for all of life to co-thrive in delicious harmony, we will have a wonderful planet to live on. And so the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals addresses all of this. And so what I'm trying to do is just educate everybody. And maybe if you get inspired to go learn about them and get involved and take some action and get involved with charity, or a particular person, an activist who's excited about things, you can get more results that way. So that's my goal. And I'm going to do my best to link them up with the themes of the episodes, but sometimes they're going to be a little, you're going to watch me stretch it a little bit. So this is a little bit of a stretch, but you'll see it. You'll see the connection. But so the SDG of the week, because I am a mermaid, I'm a motherfucking mermaid, is life below water. It's number 14. And so it's about conserving and sustainably using all of our water resources, the oceans, the streams, the marine resources, fish and everything. So why is it so important? Well, obviously we rely on the ocean. We rely on everything that it provides us. And it's so critical. We would die without the ocean, and we would die without water. So they say that, I'm just going to read a statistic here. Studies at open ocean and coastal sites around the world show that current levels of marine acidity have increased by about 26% on average since the start of the Industrial Revolution. Why do we care about acidity? Well, the acidity affects the shells and the coral reefs and the crustaceans. And so when we don't have coral reefs, that's no good because we can't grow them back. It's not like you just go plant a coral reef and then you get one next week. It takes hundreds and thousands of years for these suckers to grow. And these are habitats for marine life. And if we don't have marine life, we're going to be bumming, guys. And so this is super important to me. I am a mermaid. I happen to live in the mountains now, but I'm 100% mermaid. I am a mermaid. I am a mermaid. I am a mermaid. Yes. So, so do this experiment. This experiment's super fun. And it's really, really important that you own it, own your you-ness and go take these quizzes. They're fun. Everybody loves taking quizzes about themselves. So maybe make a little folder, all the things of who you are, because then when you start deciding like the next steps, one of the most important things that you do in this world is surround yourself with powerful people who see you and who reflect who you are. And so if you're showing up not knowing who you are, they're going to reflect that back to you. And so it's important to do this practice so that I'm the mermaid, or whoever. So this is going to be a fun one. I know you guys are going to love it. And I'm not even looking at the video screen because I'm looking at the outline here with my statistics. So now I'm back on the screen. I can look at your faces. So it's going to be great, guys. I'm super excited. This next level of the Big Dream School podcast, and I'm working on 2 top secret underground things that I'm going to share with you guys as they keep coming up, but they're really, really, really cool, life-changing. It's going to change your life. It's going to change the world. And it's doing what I do best, which is vibe people up. Yay. So have some fun. This is going to be a great experiment. Thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, you are the only one of you. And so be authentic in the real you-ness, okay? And get to observe, get to know yourself, get in relationship, get in right alignment with you. And then, you're going to feel so much better, I promise. And then all these relationships, you're going to ask, do I really want to be in a relationship with this person? Whether it's just to go have tea or coffee, or whether it's an intimate person or a business, associate. So start to enjoy that and just embrace it and embody that and standing in your power. Okay. So this is going to be a fun one. Okay. So the mirror going to be good. All right. So peace, love, granola, and from my heart to yours. Okay. Yeah, it really is peace, love, and aloha. All right. Thanks, you guys.